Okay, thank you so much. I had a little bit technical issues, but I came back. So I hope everything goes well. And thank you so much, everyone waiting. And I present my presentation. Try again. Okay, I've been working on creating calligraphic textures for over 15 years, and I'd like to share the part of the letterform study making a developing form with this presentation. And I have, why I do this, I have a long introduction when I give this workshop related to this topic. Making the story short, I share a quote by Japanese poet and artist Takiguchi Shuzo's quote. Okay. Yes, I did already, but the relationship between the form of art and the form of nature is innate. For example, painters draw human beings, trees, or rocks. It is not just reproducing for their convenience, but also they are looking for ideal images of the forms while they draw. So, maybe escape again. Sweet.
Maybe we can do it from this view.
Oh yeah, maybe I may. If it doesn't go, I'll go back. And I grew up surrounded by nature. So I think my interest in nature forms and textures is naturally in my heart. I hope it goes. Oh, yes. Good. But that wasn't enough to go forward. So my traditional calligraphy practice was the core, and then study with Thomas Ingmayer, Brody Neuschwander, and Gottfried Pott were my main guidance. And I learned basically about possibilities in letterform by Thomas and harmony in the creation by Gottfried Pott, and importance of the meaning of the text and how to present our work to the world by Brody. And also my graphic design career with Takenobu Igarashi is always in my spirit. And after experiencing great disasters, this piece was my first successful experimental piece. My experiments with tools and mediums became quite serious at that point. The letterform and textures were developed by following the meaning of the text. So this text I chose was about crystal mess. The poem was written by the girl who was addicted to the crystal mess. And then this is the trees. Let me see, winter trees. The text was given by my husband, and I started to look at the nature. It took almost a year to see the trees around me and found a photograph that was perfect for express the meaning of the text. Let me show this picture. Maybe you can, it's a little bit shiny, but and I made this piece by imitating the image. So a few years I was trying to imitate nature images by writing the text. So I had this image from my birthplace. I took the picture by at the beach, and then I really liked it. So try to copy this writing text. So these are letter form. You can see H or A, and the title was Tears. And this one is also, I was experimenting different tools, I said, and this one was an experiment of pipette and diluted sumi ink. So then after maybe 5-7 years or later, I started to share my ideas by instructing workshops. Then I realized the importance of the form. I put letterform development as a core of experience exercises. And to develop letterforms, I studied Chinese philosophy, Li. The natural forms were categorized at a particular instant of time, or a more abstract sense of the principle of energy engaging. The thought about time are very important, and it takes time to form these forms. So like, oh, I can't get cursor, like polygonal form, how it make, because once ice was set, it takes time, and then gradually break, that makes this pattern. And also water running, it doesn't come instant. And then that relate to the time we take to develop letterform. It's not a quick thing. And I learned from this mentoring journey, my mentees took like 6 months to develop their letterform and stick together. And I realized again, it takes time, and then thinking about time is very important. And this one is the one sample. The image I had was a postcard I purchased at the Lake Superior in Minnesota a long time ago, and I really liked this picture. And then the basic form is polygonal. I developed an alphabet with an automatic pen and created textures by writing text with them about possibility. This form was quite fun to develop. And this texture were used for accordion books or paper cut sculptures. Yes, maybe some of you are pretty familiar with these images. And also one of textures was used as a textile pattern and applied on ladies' golf wear. And another form I really like. So I say when you develop letter form or work with something, it needs to be some form you are interested in or you really like. So I always like somehow the pointy oval. It can be cedar pot or can be leaf and or even surfboard. Just I'm attracted that shape, and then developed lightly with that form and putting together those letter forms with writing text make made this texture. It's deep in, I used the word deep into nature, Einstein's quote, so it can kind of get into the meaning. So I always work with meaning of the text and how to express the meaning by visual effect. So this was the one of piece. And then another way you can, there are many ways to play the form. So this is another one. And when I was, during the pandemic, I made like 7 of pandemic series with full sheet of cardie paper. And a combination of leaf shape and lines of tree barks. So it depends on the tool. So last one was I used pipette and actually squeeze bottle with line. And I wanted to try with the pointed brush. So tool is another tool, another thing to develop not only monoline to adding weight with different tool is part of my practice too. And letter form development inspired by cedar pot. I was asked to demo in Germany and I tried with 40 pen. And also letter form and texture inspired of flowering palm tree. And I also like something from top to down that nice smooth curve. And then one of this page, top one is not mine, but I got inspiration and I wrote Japanese poem and made a piece. And also, so if I can get cursor, oh yeah, yes. This one was inspired by around this dark shape. The combination of these two leaves, this one and this one, made unique form. So I was very interested in more, this is more drawings form, but this is on the way to develop more to go forward. And stamping is a very fun exercise we can do. And then developing letter form with stamping form is very much playful. So this one is inspired by Peapod and then made letter and wrote text. And one letter form I lately working with more than maybe 4 months by now. It's inspired by the curve of the nasturtium leaf, this here and there. When I presented this picture to my workshop attendees, some people took this shape to make A or some others, and then some people took here, and I really liked this curve. So, and this curve and development is a little bit inspired by Roman cursive. So when we start to develop, of course, somebody doesn't know anything about letterform can do it. But if you have basics of the traditional calligraphy, it will help a lot. And this went to forward like this. I'm not sure if it was successful, but once you take time, you go some different, you find some different directions. And from my journey with my mentees, I expressed this form with different tools on fabric. It was really challenging and fun exercise, and nice. Yes, I enjoyed a lot. And another one is also I was working with the lyric of Imagine, but this one's based on the Japanese kimono belt we call obi pattern, inspired by Indian textile. And I developed letter form. This is Maria Sori as idea, and I practiced to make this pattern by writing text. And then from this mentoring journey, I tried to make textile repeating pattern and then made actual fabric. It was really a fun process. And this going back to maybe 2016, I first taught calligraphic marks and nature, part of the text and texture workshop. And this image is maybe many people familiar with me, and dead lotus leaves. And sometime we just pick up the letter from here and they are not really developing. So this case, I could pick all A to Z and then put together to write text. It's really contemporary and abstract. And another idea I use is the letterform developing inspired by expressionist, the abstract expressionist artist work. And there are so many different lines, brush line or painting throwing line, or like Mark Tobey is not the expressionist, but his no, excuse me, the Saiton boy, the drawing with his hand like chalkboard or something like that. I'm inspired by those forms too. And then 3 of us, Nina, from this journey, oh sorry, Mark, Nina was working with spider web form, and also she coded based on smoke letterform, and she created unique earrings and some other items. Yes, well, if you have chance to visit our exhibit, the behind the scene, you can see a little bit more. If you click the image, you can see some process, and then it very nicely set. So I hope you can visit the to see a little more in depth, not only the front page. And Buckhead, she had the squarish alphabet influenced by works of Hans Schmidt. She started with stone stamping shape, and then after a while, she started to do the squarish one and went pretty much go forward. I made this collage in June, and then three of them have a little more stuff showing on exhibit. And Kiwana, her development was willow leaves, and she had many meaning of willow trees in Chinese tradition. And once she found the tool which worked very well, it was pointed nib, and then her texture became really alive. So I enjoyed to see her progress. Okay, then now, so you guys may be having too many lectures, so I'm gonna show my exercise sheet and also a little demo. So if you have pencil and paper, maybe you don't have to, but you may try something together. Okay, and stop share. Oh, I'm glad I could go through. Okay, any questions so far? So we have 15 minutes. Maybe I can go a little bit forward.
You have a half an hour.
Okay. Okay. Some people are familiar with this. So this one was from my exercise, a demo sheet from workshop in Australia, actually online. And this was in Paris group. Let me show this one first. So part of my workshop, we pick some natural object and then really try to trace, like draw once here, and then find out what kind of structure this one has. So maybe I will put this way. Started to see the letters. This can be part of the A. So this one got pretty much dry, so I can't really show well, but you get idea. And then once you have A, I suggest usually what kind of O shape will come next, and then start to develop letters. And then first exercise will be how to put these letters together. One way is the thinking about this formation. So the kind of imitating this formation and then write text. That's the one exercise. Actually, I have 6 of key exercises how to put these letter form together. And then I'll share later. So someone had the seed pot. This is wisteria seed pot. Even one object, or maybe this one I can say too. But if you put attention on here, maybe you can develop something organic, this kind of shape. Or maybe you think about this was hanging like this way. Maybe lowercase letters to develop something like this. So this development became this shape, and adding the twig like this. So one exercise is imitating or drawing the actual object. And also I suggest to get some images of picture. So I had this, actually I shared a large piece of this pinkish stone, how to say, rock wall, a part of rock wall I take. So I take many pictures from just naturally, I love any natural forms. So even I wasn't teaching or something, developing about nature, whatever, I have many pictures. So I chose one picture like this. So beginning was imitating and drawing, and then find out what the shape, what's the line working, and then this shape coming here and there can be all, but this has a little bit rectangular tall image, so maybe it should be taller to think about. So this is very rough first stage, and then once you have letter O, and then A is pretty good to start to, so find this shape. Maybe A can be this, it can be this, pointy, or maybe it needs to be a little bit squarish. And then once you start to write some of A, maybe you can feel, oh, maybe this is my A. And then you can start to develop B, A, B, C to Z casually first. Once you really get into the development of letterform takes time, so you can take more time to refine your form. Then next stage is once you have this, and how to imitate this one, not only monoline. So next stage can be some tools to put weight and nature. If you see the those nature form categorized or whatever, or you see a natural form or your picture, everything connect. Usually nothing can be just alone. So connecting, how to connect this to think about is very important. And then some simple demo weighted form. And then this going back to monoline form. So this exercise, I came to pretty much tall hexagon, not exactly round, but a little bit corners, this kind of shape. And then beginning this narrow form to write the text. And then second exercise will be something uneven, make small, narrow and wide to combine. And then play with the space between letters and space inside the letters. And then connect letters. Usually, so this is pretty much close to the original image. And also original image also didn't have all even space. So you may try some part open, some part not congested. Those we have sense of balancing. So something congested, something open to combine, or something dark or light, or something pretty much aggressive and calm. So those are naturally we always balance. So play with those balance is fun thing, and also that's please our vision. If it's all same and even, that doesn't seem really interesting. So this brings more interest. If we are presenting to somebody, it will be more attractive. And then I think this one just repeat again. So maybe supposed to be more careful, but as demo, I did this a little bit more second grade, how to say, another step to go. So, and then write more to get used to. And then you can be, you can choose more unique tools. If I do really dry brush, what will happen? If I dilute it with you diluted ink with pointing brush, what will happen? to experiment. And then beginning, we can just write text evenly. Once you write text, and then you get used to with this text. And also we always have ductus. So if I go like this text, so ductus go this way, and you get rhythm. And then once you got a little bit rhythm is even it has a weight difference, but then you can go again, open and close, get more rhythm, different movement. And then, so you can play with size difference. Maybe open we do a round shape, open big works well, and this becoming a little bit closer to original image. So keep original image to work and continue, and also completely forget the original and then do different things. Those we can be pretty much flexible. And then some different, this is China marker, oil crayon to play with. Yeah, I think some of you who took my workshop are very familiar, I think. And then play with value, light and dark with diluted ink. And then finally, we get a little more gesture, put speed and rhythm and more energy in it. So once you have my case, once I have base form and my hand and body remember the movement, and also the remember the text. This case possibility is really got in my body and hand. So then once you go quick and even larger scale, it works very well. The very advanced calligraphers who can do, if somebody say, oh, please write possibility gesture, they can do it. But my case, I need to have base that my hand and the brain need to remember, then I can play with. So that's I've been doing. And then you can go forward with colors. Yes. So is time okay? Yeah, it's a little bit demo. So since pandemic happened, the online course has been very useful for me. If I'm teaching in person, I'm busy taking care of everybody, and I usually don't have much time to take photo or record something. But this one is, oh yeah, maybe I should put name, but Australian group's feedback note I saved. So one person did this mushroom. Yeah, maybe you can see what ideas. Some curry leaves. It's really challenging. Or butterfly. These really abstract black and white part. I usually make black and white copy, and this lady's drawing is beautiful, but she got idea from these lines. And there are so many you can get inspired. Just having walk, pay attention a little bit to the nature, or even I love man-made textures too. And geometric textures, they are geometric, but they are also nature forms too. So let me check there. So once, if you have this mushroom picture, and then this is very small, but you can maybe get idea if it's mushroom here. So this person picked, maybe I made big. So this is not really pretty here, so over here. Letter A, this has pretty much narrow lines here and there. So basically, if I pick the back of mushroom, very narrow and tall, and it can be symmetry, but maybe it can be a little bit curved, straight and curved combination, or maybe both a little bit curvy. Once you see more carefully, you can get variations. Some of them seems like going this way. Or maybe more, a little bit, some part is a little bit cricket, something like this. And once you started to like these aids, some aids maybe really attract you, so maybe more higher. So if you take this one, next step is maybe trying to make letter O. So this top is small, like narrow, and the bottom is open because this was going like this way and back of the mushroom. Okay, so if I think about letter O, maybe keep this curve, and then this is symmetry one, or maybe I can go a little bit tilted, slanted, or this should be maybe bottom heavy. Then you can go something like this. This is more unique, so maybe I try like this to go. Oh, I'm being pretty quick, but you need to think about a lot, I guess. And once you have form of O, O is the mother shape, so you can go round shape letters. Letter B can be following here, B, and C follows here, so maybe C can be something like this. D follow here, so on. We'll develop letter forms. G can be related to C, and then P can be this way. So maybe keeping this form, and then R. So, and then recently, I think, I'm practicing Herman Killian's letterform, and then now I feel, oh, this is Killian's R. So your practice of letterform is reflect to your development here. And S, often students get confused with S, so you write your O and then put S inside. This will always kind of relate. Okay. And then I am J, maybe following here, so maybe J can be something like this. So this is the way I usually suggest to students to develop, and also I do too. And then once you have round letters, supposed to be narrow and wide, a little bit different variation, but everything is pretty narrow for this form. And then usually the geometric letter form happen to X, Y, G is a little wider form. So let's do next one, H. So H can be a little bit wider. Here, maybe top can be a little bit closer. So this part, I need to have a little time to think about if this is really working. But the N, keep a little bit curve here. T, B, X maybe, and U can be, maybe you can be following this. Y maybe a little bit different, but maybe following here. C, and then narrow shape form E, F, maybe K, following maybe here, L, and then wide one, M and W. So I did pretty quick, and then I wasn't thinking too much, but so alphabet is only 26 letters, so, and then there is a system, the narrow shape, narrow form, a little wider one, and circle, those full circle. Then you can, once you have all used, you can develop all letter forms. Okay. Yes, maybe it's almost time, and then some people may be very sleepy. But this is a capital letter. Maybe one more to go very quick because I saw this one and it seems like very interesting. So once you get this one, I remember who did, and then very much challenging. So I'm always having here. So this one's case, this form has something like this, and then coming out from here to bring another form. There's two forms here. So depends on which part you pay attention, everything will be a little bit different. But then if this is the form, maybe O can be something like this. Then think about, this is pretty much like letter P. Then you can think about letter B. So maybe this way, and then come this way, or this way, maybe this way. So I don't do everything, but so on, you can develop lowercase letters. So this is the way I develop, and then this lady did very well, so I'll show this. This way. So put form together how it works, and bouncing and then changing directions to make textures. Okay, that's the kind of I'm doing, and then any questions, or if you want me to do something?
And Yukimi, you were saying that the narrow and the wide letters, you are going with the traditional Roman letter forms?
Oh yes, I'll show you this one. This went to many places. It's a little tired, but the geometric system everybody knows. But once you have O, you can go this group and then this group, and then think about this group, then narrow group and wide one. That's a logical way to do. So O can be many different ways. Yeah, and also I put this one, I forgot. When you have monoline form, and then part of my tools. So I usually use some of them, my favorite ones, but these days, many people have so many tools. I don't have too many, but I have favorite tools to go forward to add weight. Okay, thank you. Yeah, and also I have this one, so I share this one. And my inspiration comes historical word song and letter forms. And also this one is nature artist. Some people who does a little bit natural stuff. If you are stuck, just collect many ideas in your folder. Used to be I made a copy and saved stuff, but that will help them. If I got some idea what I really want to do, then I could go a little bit forward. And of course, we can't reach the goal. So you say, oh, I want to do this. And how to start? There is many steps, but if you have this goal, you can start little by little, and don't discourage if you can't do this immediately. Letter form takes time, so little by little to reach, and even you can forget a little while, and then go back to some time, and your study will blossom with, oh, I can do this now, and then just take your time. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Yukimi. That was awesome. So inspiring. You should look at the comments. Mind blown, many new perspective. Okay, there is a question. Jiwon says, how would the development of capitals and lowercase be different? Is it different?
Oh, yes, it's different. The system is different. So geometric form is something like this. Okay, I don't have this. If you think about the foundational hand. That is also based on square and circle, but A, B, C all has circle. So that this A, B, C doesn't have circle. So you should check italic or foundational monoline. Then you can see about the system. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions for Yukimi? Anyone has questions or comments? Now that I'm looking at Yukimi's development, and you were saying it's been 15 years developing all these forms, there is hope.
Yes. Yes, I started calligraphy when I was 40, so
Oh, wow,
these
my
young
goodness.
people.
With Bucket and Nina, developing your letters, and you did it in such a short time. I mean, within a matter of like 10 months or less. That's really amazing. Oh. Another question. How do you avoid getting confused with the different forms? We're seeing so many things around you. Yeah.
I tell you, I'm always confused. My life is a whole confusion. So not only not only letterform, but why I like Roman alphabet is the system is so clear. So when you develop letter alphabet A to Z, much less confusion. But yeah, of course. So why this A and this, how to do this B is a step to think about. But yes, I don't confused much for developing letter form somehow. So I don't know how to avoid.
Thank you. It's very comforting to know that you are confused. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Tiana says it's only a beginning. Bucket agrees. And Tiana says that she will continue to develop her letter forms, which is great. Yes. It's so eye-opening. I mean, it gives us a different way to look at nature and to draw inspiration. So and to play, I notice you have so much joy, Yukimi, in the creating, and you often talk about playing and with tools. And yeah, I mean, there is just, thank you for sharing. It's amazing to see how your mind works.
Yes, I've trained.
Yeah. Anybody wants to comment? What is your color selection process like when working with multiple colors?
I usually take one complementary, two colors. The complementary color, they work very well. And also my love of the Payne's gray, it's the people say it's still color, it has a little bit blue. And then I don't actually use much. I love black and white, and Payne's gray is my favorite. And I try colors, but usually one color, and even I mix two colors. Yeah.
Yes. Can someone without any foundation in lettering or calligraphy try these methods of developing letter forms inspired by nature?
Yes, yes. I highly recommend to do both. Of course, it is wonderful to have basics first, but a German practice, they do expressive and formal together. So they do this side and this side together. Then they can influence each other. Once we get really stuck with traditional, it's a little difficult to get out of that practice. But I think these days so many information all around, and there are so many samples. So yeah, just don't get too much confused. But I recommend to do go both. The beginner can do it, no problem. Yeah. Mark.
Thank you. Thanks for the question, Pamela. Yeah, well, I think we have come to the end of our hour. And Yukimi, thank you so much for sharing. It's really
Thank
very
you so much.
heartwarming,
And
very
sorry about the
inspiring.
technical thing. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I'm going to stop the recording here.